I'm your host, Annie Bowles, and this is News du Jour. Hey you guys, and welcome back to the News du Jour, a calmer space to consume the news. So I hope you guys had a super restful weekend. I know mine was very busy actually, so if you did have a restful weekend, I am jealous. Anywho, I wanted to go over 3 stories today. They're not super long. It was a pretty chill news day, but that said, we do have a couple things to update you guys on. Let's jump in. Okay, so first up, we wanted to update you guys on the Hollywood actors who are bolstering the picket line. So, yet another update on the Hollywood writers' strike. Now that the strike is really in full swing, some big-name Hollywood actors have joined the writers on the proverbial picket line. This strike has even interrupted some pretty major events, such as film premieres of major Hollywood movies. Oppenheimer is set to be a huge hit at the box offices, and yet they had to move up their premiere time by an hour so as to sneak it in before that midnight deadline to strike. Even so, many of the major celebrities who walked that red carpet, such as Emily Blunt and Matt Damon, they actually left before the screening of the show due to the strike. Damon said on the red carpet, quote, "The second it's called, we're going home," end quote. And he really emphasized the meaning behind the strike, that it is now or never, and that it's very important and do or die for a lot of people. And that's what they did. They left. And Christopher Nolan, the director, had to announce to the crowd that the A-listers had actually left their own premiere to join the picketers, and he didn't sound happy about it. Cynthia Nixon, Margot Robbie, Jack Quaid, and many, many, many more are actually speaking out online in favor of the strike and throwing their heavy weight and influence behind the writers that make Hollywood go. As we have covered many times, this is the biggest walkout in 4 decades, and honestly, there's no end in sight right now. We will be sure to keep you guys posted as they work towards a resolution. Next up, a super PAC manned by Trump made a payment to Melania Trump. So, of course, people are taking a closer look at Trump's financials to do with the political campaign, and they have noticed a mysterious payment made from a super PAC of over $150,000 to Melania Trump for a quote-unquote speaking engagement. It was not initially listed, but then appeared on a later filing of the same document. The payment was made in December 2021. The first report showed 2 payments adding up to basically that same amount, about $150,000, being made to Melania's talent agency. The payments were listed for, quote, event planning and consulting, end quote. This is very unusual though, you guys. Typically, spouses are active participants in campaigns, and they're not employees or paid speakers. They're, essentially volunteers. And while this may not be outright illegal, it is for sure sketchy for money to move from a political action committee to said candidate's joint bank account. I'm no campaign finance expert, but that definitely feels sus. On a different note, though, but related to Trump, Jared Kushner was recently questioned on the specifics of whether or not his father-in-law, President Trump, ever privately admitted to him that he had lost the presidential election in 2020. This is probably an effort to prove that Trump knew he was promoting a lie. But of course, Jared Kushner maintained that he believed Trump genuinely thought the election was stolen. But other people who were close to the president during the days immediately following that election have given statements to the court that contradict that. The former White House communications director, Alyssa Griffin, claimed that Trump said to her, quote, "Can you believe I lost to Joe Biden?" End quote. She testified that he knew he had lost. Other aides of his who looked into election fraud as a real possibility also came to him with the fact that he had lost. More than one of them said in court that they told the president there had been no fraud, that he had genuinely lost the election. So it will definitely be interesting to see where this probe may lead and whether Jared Kushner is going to end up wrapped up in it. And for our final story today, ChatGPT's parent company is under investigation. So the FTC has officially opened an investigation into the maker of ChatGPT, a company called OpenAI. They are looking into possible consumer harm that could happen and the ramifications of ChatGPT and the company's other AI projects. The FTC let OpenAI know that they were being investigated with a 20-page letter in which they detailed all of their concerns for users' privacy and data and safety. They requested a bunch of different documentation from the company at that time. As we know, many leaders in this space, from Sam Altman himself, the OpenAI founder, and Elon Musk, have come out in saying that they are worried about where this product may lead. Everyone agrees that this is a space that needs to be closely watched and regulated. Their main concern seems to be OpenAI's use of user data. The company already got in trouble with the Italian government and made changes that Italy asked of them. Italy also asked for age restrictions to be put in place by the company in order to protect minors. Europe has repeatedly stayed ahead of the US when it comes to regulating tech in a bunch of different directions, even though most of that tech is coming out of our own backyard. That said, this is unusually early for a US government body to be investigating a tech company. Typically, these types of investigations follow public outrage or some type of major incident, so maybe we're making progress. Let's just hope that they keep us informed and have the technical know-how to fully analyze the situation. And that is the news du jour. Today, I wanted to leave you guys with the quote: "If you're always having to be the bigger person, maybe you shouldn't be spending time with so many small people." If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you use to listen. A rate and review or shout out on social media would mean the world to us and help us be able to keep creating the news du jour. But the best way to support all of our work is to become a patron at www.patreon.com/sugarfreemedia. You can also follow us on social media under sugarfreemedia.co on Instagram and just sugarfreemedia, all one word, on TikTok. Any little noises you may hear in the background are my rescue pup. He has a little separation anxiety and always records with me. We appreciate you listening and look forward to telling you about the news again next time on News du Jour.
Broadcasting from
Oklahoma.